Alright, my name is David. I'm going to discuss super new to cubing. I guess I'm just going to make a quick video. My 7-year-old son wanted me to teach him on the cube, and I thought I'd just make a video of it. I guess making one layer is the first thing that you need to learn when making a cube. It helps you spatial thinking, where things will exist and whatnot. A cube in general turns on axes in all directions, forward, whatnot. You have what are called corner pieces. They have corners on them. You have edge pieces. They're not in the corners, so you got corners and edges. Corners will always exist on corners. Edges will always exist on edges. One thing you got to notice when you're doing a cube is that the center piece, you can't move that. That'll always be the same. It may seem like you're moving it, but really all you're doing is moving around it. So the center piece red, if you want to finish red, is always going to be there. So the way I kind of help people figuring out how to do one layer at least is just a couple of rules. Let's envision holding the cube like this. The color you want to do, keep on the top layer. What I refer to as the middle layer is everything in the middle. That's the middle layer here. So top, middle, and bottom layer. Let's try and solve red. White. So what we do is you want to keep white on the top, and we want to get white pieces, obviously the top, but in order to get them solved, we need to move them to the top layer. So if we look at the middle layer, we're going to just move some to the top. Obviously, if we move this, that moves down, so it really doesn't help us much. So we're going to start with just 2. That's difficult, but let's start doing it. Now the trick is you want to move or turn one of the axes once into the middle layer, move a white piece to connect to it, and then move it back. So you never want to do twice. That just is no good. You always want to move it down one, add something to it, move it back up. And however you want to do it, then you'll have to learn a little bit about what happens when the piece is on the bottom layer, how to move it to the middle layer, and what to do when the piece is up here. So let's start with this piece here. This white piece would be perfect right there. But obviously if we move it up there, well, we lost the other piece. We just don't want to move it. We don't want to lose that piece, right? So what I refer to as hide and go seek. You want to hide it away from the axis that will be turning. You want to move that middle piece down, and again, hide, and you got to seek it back, and then move the pieces up, making sure that you keep up all the whites that are already solved. Here's another piece. We want to move it up to there. Now, if I push it there, that's not what we want, because this will move to the bottom, and that doesn't help us. So I want to hide and seek it. I want to hide it away. Now, the reason why I'm hiding it this way and not this way is because if I hide it this way, when I turn it, it's on the same axis that I'm turning down. So I want to hide it away, bring this axis down, move that one back up, turn it back up. Again, you'll notice the top layer comes down once, back up, down once, back up. Whatever you do at the top, just move it down once and then back up. And that'll simplify how to do things. Now, when things get complicated are when, like this piece, how do you get that piece up there? Really, that piece exists on 2 axes. This axis and this axis. So you got to figure out what's the best axis to turn to get this white lower. If I turn this one, it goes on the bottom. That's not really what I want to do. So we'll turn this one, and you'll notice, hey, perfect. It's on a middle layer. So you just want to move it off the axis and move this one back, and then you have it lower, which helps. And you turn it around. What the best way to do is turn it around so you figure out, hey, this doesn't help me. It's at the same position, right? I'm not gonna finish helping me with the white. If I move it here, I'm like, hey, that helps. I can move it right there. Again, this is all about practice. So hide and seek it. So I'm gonna hide it, bring that one down, attach it, move it up. I know I'm going pretty fast, but you're just gonna have to practice. And I kind of understand. The other problem is when it's on the bottom. How do you move it up here? Now obviously we need to move it from the bottom layer to the middle layer. Again, because it's here, there's 2 axes that it belongs to. And we got to figure out which axis is best to move it on. So right now, you'll notice if I move it down here, perfect, it's on the bottom layer. And if I turn it, it doesn't affect these 2 now. In some cases where if the whole thing was solved, like say I was over here, this wouldn't help, because if I moved it down, it'd be on the same layer screwing up these 2. So I want to make sure I move it to a layer so that when I move it down, I can twist it without affecting a matching. And I want to move it back up. You'll notice it's right there. It doesn't help me there. It doesn't help me there. It helps me here. Perfect. So hide and seek it. Hide, bring it down, seek it, and bring it up. Great. This one here, again, complicated, figuring out what to do. With practice, you'll figure out. This really is on 2 axes, the middle one, which brings it to the bottom, which we don't want. Then there's this axis, which probably will help us. So if I bring it down here, I just want to move it away. So just kind of move the middle away, keeping the other 2 intact, moving it back up. So where to put this one? If I move it here, it doesn't help me because if I turn it up, it's going to go into this layer here. It's not going to help. Does it help me here? Oh, here, you'll notice it helps me here because I really want to move it into that position. So I play hide and seek. I can hide it, bring this one down. I just bring the middle across, down. Again, just like before, we want to move this one down and away, this one back up, and then figuring out where we want this white to go to make us solve. Again, this is all about practice to figure out what's the best way. Moving it back and up, and there you go. You solve your first solve. Now, trust me, you probably won't get it the first time. Within a good practice, you will get it. If you have other methods of doing it, by all means, you can do it that way, but it gets you an idea of how to solve a cube. Thanks.